All right, we're getting everybody online here. Everything boosted here, so we're coming up. Looks like we got people logging in. This is sort of our impromptu um, afternoon Q&A. What I try to do, what I committed to do for several of my clients is make myself available sometime in the afternoon during the week when it's possible to answer any questions that you might have. And last night we had a episode 339, which was the podcast. We had a wonderful podcast. And we do this is the second year we've done it. I think it might be the third year, where we ask people to call in or write or email what they're thankful for. And one of our reps, several of our reps responded to that. One of them was just talking about how he is thankful for the call center, Gary. If you haven't heard that, it's about midway through the show. Go on there, and he talks about he made 3 or 4 sales, I think, ending up yesterday, probably close to $5,000 when it was all said and done. Made $3,500 before 1 o'clock, and so he was just speaking to that. And I got several questions last night and on into today in my personal email is, and just the majority of the questions was sort of the same thing said different ways. Is Terry, is that legit? Is it even possible to make that kind of money, specifically making that kind of money from home? And the answer is absolutely. Not only is it possible, if done correctly and done the way we show you, it's probable. But it takes time. I will say this: it's not something I think that the average person should expect to do in just their first couple days in the business. I would even say in the first couple weeks in the business, or even months in the business, and for the lion's share. And here's the reason I say that: the lion's share of people that start with us, a lot of them, a lot of our clients, this is their first legitimate, home-based business. They've dabbled in this or that, but they haven't done anything on this scale. And so, the tempo that you have to operate within, the skill sets that have to be sort of developed pretty quick, all that comes into play. And so it takes some time. But I want to just break down, how is that possible? Hey, Gary, good to have you on today, brother. I'm actually talking about you. I'm answering a question. Someone asked, is it possible to make, $5,000 in the call center? And so I'm saying yes, and here's how. And I illustrated, something that you mentioned on the podcast last night. At first, it might be a situation where you're just taking the calls and handling everything at first. You're handling communicating with the client, you're handling following up. But if you will do it the way we show you, and somebody might ask, well, why wouldn't someone? Well, sometimes setting up the funnel and everything, people might get a little overwhelmed, a little frustrated. And if that happens, we say, don't get frustrated, don't get aggravated, don't get yourself in a mental situation where you're thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. If all you can do is answer phone and read a script, start there, because the main thing is get making money as quick as possible. And I even talked about it last night. There is a real psychological reason why you need to relieve your sense of stress, and there's no greater stressor than financial stress. Financial stress tends to really, especially in the business world, it tends to be the thing that can get people sideways real quick. So Gary is one of my great trainers, and I share the same thing that he thinks. Get making money as quick as possible. And what's the fastest way? Well, if you can just answer a phone and read a script and talk to people, then do that. Gary said I made $3,500 by 1 o'clock. That's what I was alluding to last night. You talked about it, and we have Gary, we have Mark, we have tons of people. Tracy, Jeff, myself. We've been doing this now for 10 years. It is possible, but I want to break it down as to why and how it's possible. and answer that question, because the question was, can you really make, because the guy said, I want to make $5,000. And he mentioned Gary, because Gary was on the podcast last night. He said, I'm working on an elite sale. He already made the 35. If he closed the elite sale, that was one more. That was $5,000 that day. And he says, how is that possible? The reason most business opportunities that you've ever tried, if you've tried anything, has been difficult for most people is because, number one, they don't have enough people to speak to. Number two, the margins on what you make is so slim and skinny, it's hard to make a living off of it. If you're making 20%, 30%, let's say you make half, 50% off $100 item, man, you have to sell a ton of those $100 items. That's only $50. I mean, you'd have to sell, 10 of them a day to make any real money, right? So the thing about TW3, our number one, our pay structure, our lowest pay right now for our members is only $450, which is about to go up to $750, because we're about to go up on our prices, which means our reps are going to make more money. So right off the bat, you've got a lot more margin on what you sell at TW3. Okay. So the first problem most people have is they don't have anybody to talk to. The second thing is when they have somebody to talk to, what they're selling, there's just not enough margin on. There's not enough meat on the bone to make money. Well, if you can make a minimum of $450, soon to be $750, and you can make as much as $1,500, and if you're elite member, you can make as much as $18,000 on our big ticket items. Man, there's some serious money. And then you say, then the logical question is, well, is that a viable product? Do people buy that? And this is where it gets really good with what we offer at TW3. Yes, it's a viable product. You've got people to speak to, but why is it viable? Think about this. Every single business that you've ever been involved with, if you've tried real estate, if you've tried insurance, if you've tried any type of direct sales, MLM, network marketing, anything like that, you have to, generate your own business. With what we offer here, the business is coming to you. And so that is very appealing. You don't have to sell people on the ideas that are already in business that they need a lead generation system. It sells itself. Anybody that's ever been in business for themselves, they get the idea. If I don't have qualified people that need, want, desire, and can afford what it is I offer, I'm going to be out of business tomorrow. And Gary said my next preset appointment is at 2:15 Central Time. And see, that's what Gary was talking about last night, and that's the power of our elite package. He literally has people in line waiting on him to speak. Think about that just a second. Think about the psychology behind it. Think about how probably every business you've ever tried to do, it's you chasing people, you going out there trying to find who to speak to. Once you find someone to speak to, then getting, the door slammed on your face or the phone hung up or, well, get back with me tomorrow. And then all of a sudden you're in this chasing mode. What if you could flip the script? What if you could be in a situation where people are standing in line wanting to talk to you? That's the power of this business. Lindsay, my counterpart here last night, I don't know if she said it on air or not. So, because we talk so much, I can't remember what was recorded and what was. Hey, Octavia, it's good to see you. She said, Terry, I made already in this month, and the month is only half over. I've already made more than what I make on average working an entire month with the base salary of my other gig. And she loves her other job. She's in direct sales. She sells a clothing line. And she said, I spend 10%. I don't even spend 10% of what I spend on the other business. I don't spend hardly any of the time. I'm making already, if stands to reason I keep this pace, she's going to make double what she made before. And she's not spending hardly any of the time. She don't have any inventory. She don't have any overhead. She don't have any expense. So the question, can you make $5,000 a day in a call center? Is it possible? You better believe it. It's just a matter of how quick do you want to get to scale your business. The problem most businesses have is it's contingent upon what they can do. You know, how many people, you know, to make that kind of money in any other, if I was in insurance, man, I'd have to go out and talk to a ton of people, do a lot of cold calling. If I have a product, if a business solution that drives all those calls to me, drives all those leads, and then has them, you know, booking an appointment to stand in line to speak to me, then I tell you, I have flipped the script. And what happens when you get really good at generating leads, then you become more and more picky about who you take time to speak with. And Gary's right. He just said the elite level has a ton of income streams. Because here's the other magical thing about TW3 and working in our call center is you don't have to make a sale to make money. With our referral marketing package, you can refer them over to things that are being given to them and you make money. So every time I generate a lead with my system, I don't ever feel pressure. Okay, oh my God, I got to sell them a TW3 package, or I've got to recruit them in this business, or I got to sell them this, or I got to sell them that. No, not really. I just find out, you know, what it is you want to do. What can you afford? What do you like? Where are you at in this thing? And then I say, if I gave you something for free, would it be of value to you? Yeah. And then you send them over to whatever that offer is. You get paid for that lead. You get paid anywhere from $1.50 on the low end to $150 on the high end. And you're always making money. You're always helping people. And the beautiful thing about this business is then, have you ever got into business and maybe the business was just a turnoff because of the recruiting part of it? You know, I talk to a lot of people that get into these home-based businesses, and one of the biggest turnoffs is the recruiting aspect. What if you could be in a business to where you never felt the pressure to recruit? You know, I've got people that are elite members like Gary that don't even sell TW3, don't even recruit people into their business. What they actually do is give them hourly and salary jobs outside of TW3, and that's all they do all day long, and they're making plenty of money, and they're happy with that. Now, I would argue the bigger money is in selling the TW3 packages because of the residual part of it and all that other stuff, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine as well. So to answer that person, well, I had about 5 or 6 questions last night, and it all revolved around, you know, what's possible today? Could you make this much? Could you make this much? I heard that, you know, you had several reps make $25,000 or more just in the month of October. How is that possible? Well, it's possible by just simply using the system the way we show you, driving traffic either into your inbox to have them set up appointments, or into an extension in our call center, you speaking to them after they have already been conditioned and spoken to by our system. Because that's the other thing, our system does all the selling for you. You don't have to sell the TW3 package. We've got hours and hours and hours of videos that are speaking to a specific niche. Are you an insurance agent? Okay, watch this TW3 video and how we can help you. Oh, you're real estate? Watch this. Oh, you don't have a business at all and you need something? Watch this video. And you just pick those videos and you send it out to the people that it's going to speak to them. And then if this is right for them, it's great. If it's not, refer them over to something else for free, get paid for that, and keep going. That is the magic sauce of TW3. That's how it's a win-win. Now, you say, well, Terry, then what's the problem? How come everyone in your business is not millionaires in just, you know, the next week? And here's the rub. It takes time to learn these tools in some, because it is an online marketing system. It is an online marketing platform. Sometimes people, they get it right then and there. They start using the tools and the software the way we show them immediately. Sometimes for people like me, it takes a little longer. I'm not someone that just picks up on technical stuff very fast. It takes me some time. Okay, oh, that didn't work, and then trying it out. Gary says, always answer the phone and be on time with your clients. That is so important, Gary. I cannot tell you how many new reps, Gary, that we have come on, and they lose their first 2 or 3 sales, if they make any, because they've got clients calling the headquarters saying, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of so-and-so. I can't get a hold of them. I'm ready to buy. And you know, what do? So we try to reach out to them. If we can't get a hold of them, we refer them to someone else. So you're right. If you're working the TW3 call center, just make sure you're on time with your clients. You're talking to them when you said you would, when you book that time. And I'm telling you, you're going to build your business. Everything that's always made business stink for people to get started in business, we've tried to solve. The number one problem, who do I speak to? I don't want to call my friends and family and folks. Okay, we're going to show you how to just drive as many people, qualified people, people that need, want, desire, and can afford what it is you offer. We're going to show you how to just start driving them. Well, the problem is, Terry, I don't have a product. Here's a product. We've got the TW3 product lines that you can offer. Here are the RMPs where you don't even have to sell anything. You can give books away. You can give jobs away. You can help people get lending offers. There's great. Well, Terry, I don't want to sell. Well, we can show you how to use these tools like the voice broadcast dialer and generate leads for a lending company. And whether they get a loan or not, you get paid. Or show you how to use this particular digital tool to harvest surveys. We've got this company out here that wants to know, how does people feel about X, Y, and Z? So and so said such and such. What do people think? And then you just collect surveys, never talking to anyone, and make money. So no matter what your profile personality type is, no matter what it is you want to do, we can show you how to do it. Here's the rub. It just takes the time to learn how to use these tools. If I'm telling you, all it is, if you can afford to give yourself an opportunity, believe in yourself enough to just try it and don't quit, don't give up, do it the way we show you. That's why we say we offer a 90-day money-made guarantee. You will make money with TW3 if you do it the way we show you. If you execute on our plans, our strategies, we stand behind it. Gary's a living testimony and can tell you, and I've got other people as well. This has been, you don't last online. You don't last on the internet by not standing behind and not being able to perform on what you say. And we've been doing this, like I said, now for 10 years with great ratings, with a lot of great clients, with great results. So there's no reason why. And we were joking today, Gary, you'll get a kick out of this. We got one of those clients that, struggles like a lot of other people. I mean, there's nothing wrong, but this one sort of just struggles putting one foot in front of the other, and there's nothing wrong. He's a child of God. God loves him, but he just struggles, and it's not a judgment. He just struggles. Well, he made a sale, and made a sale within just, really, he's only been in the business, about a month. And I told Reagan, I says, now this just goes to show you, if this person can find success, then anybody can if they will just be diligent about working the program. And it's not a judgment on him. It's not a disparaging remark. And he'll admit, I struggle. He's like me. We struggle. Some of us just don't pick up quick. So Gary says, we show you how to work smart, not hard in the call. That's exactly right. You don't have to go out and cold call. You don't have to pester your friends and family. Gary, you'll love this. The studio here at the house is when you come into our foyer, there's a big archway, and you come into our house, and to the right is my private office right here. And so at Monday nights, we're in my office. Lindsay's sitting here, and Reagan's over there. And we had some neighbors stop by and wanted to offer their support. We've had sort of a tragedy in our family that happened last week that we're having to deal with. But they wanted to come by and drop off some food and just offer their prayers and support and all that. And they're neighbors. And we're sitting in here, and they got to hearing me and Lindsay talk and Reagan talk. And they asked Gina, it's like, I didn't know he did this. I didn't know this. And I said, why didn't he talk? Because they're sort of entrepreneurial minded. They have it. And Gina says he never talks to anybody that's a neighbor, goes to school with, goes to church with. He does everything online because he just doesn't want to be one of those people. Oh, there comes so-and-so. What business is he trying to recruit and do now? I just never. And he said, and she says, well, I want to get in that business. I want to get in that business. The whole point is you can be in a business where you don't have to feel that pressure to have to go calling on your, as they call it, the warm market. All you have to do is set up shop online with the tools we give you, start driving calls with the tools we show you how, reading the scripts that we give you, and I'm telling you, the sky is the limit because you've got products that's going to pay you, anywhere. It's $450 now, but now in another 2 weeks, the lowest you can make is $750 because we're going up. And you say, well, Terry, who can afford that? What if I run some? We offer easy financing that you're going to be able to give people a way they can get started with no money down, no money up front, get started They get the system, learn it, use it, start making money with it, and their first bill don't come due. In some cases, 90 days, in most cases, it's 30 days, and it's a low payment. And then they can get it paid off, when they get up to speed on the system. So it is a no-brainer here. If I can get someone a system that if they execute on it the way we show them, they could be doing like Gary does and other people doing, knocking down $5,000, $25,000 a month, then why wouldn't you do that? See you later, Gary. I know you got to get off here because you got a 215. Go make some money. If you make it, come back on here and tell us how much you made. But it's a no-brainer. It's an absolutely no-brainer. So it's a product that people want because everybody needs leads. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. It's a product you can sell because you don't have to call your friends and family and foes. You can have neighbors come through like I did and say, "Oh gosh, I didn't even know he did that." And it's a product that you can get people to pretty quick because even if they have bad credit, we have ways that they can get financed with poor credit because we TerryWilson3.com/bad credit. Even people with tough credit, we can get them underwritten and approved. So great stuff. Any questions that I can hit, but I hope I comprehensively answered, is $5,000 a day, because if you're making a minimum of $450 up to $1,500 per item, and you knocking down 2 or 3 sales a day, how are you knocking down 2 or 3 sales a day? Because you can drive 25, 100, 150, 200 leads a day. What do you want to make? What do you want to make? If I know, if for instance, Lindsay said, I'm closing 1 sale out of 12 people I speak to, then if she needs to close 3 sales, do the math. 3 times 12 is what? She needs to talk to 36 people a day. And what do you want to make? And if she's averaging, say the average on the pay schedule we have now is what, I think we said around $820. So if let's just say, because you got sales rep package plus rep and elite member package, you average all that together, on average you're going to make about $800, let's say. Well, if you need to sell 3 packages, 8 times 3, that's $2,400 right there. It just means she needs to drive 36 leads and talk to them that day. Can you do that? Do you have time? If you're doing this part-time, you might only have an hour or two. She only spends an hour a day and is already making twice as much. So what is going on, Free for Life LLC? Who is this? Who is Free for Life LLC? I think I know who that is. Is that Miss Josie? Josie, are you on with me today? I knew it was you. How you doing, girl? Good to have you on. I'm out here online pontificating, you know me. So hope you're doing well. It was good to see you at the conference this year. Hey, by the way, Josie, I've got a training in your back office that you're going to be interested in. It's called Podcasting A to Z. If you haven't checked that out, go over and check it out. We did an elite mastermind group Wednesday, and I went from A to Z, what I do on podcasting. So you might want to check that out. The software I use, the free resources you can get, the low tech way. So I've got all of that. So check that out. And I think you'll like that. Cool. So we got any other questions that I need to jump on here? I want to make sure I'm available. I know that wasn't the only question, but that was the predominant question that I had last night. Hey, Scott, good to have you on today, brother. And by the way, Scott, thank you for calling in. Scott was one of the people that called in on the podcast last night to offer his Thanksgiving, blessed are the peacemakers. And he said that he wanted to give thanks for all the peacemakers out there. And boy, if this world ever needed anything right now, it's people that can are peacemakers and make peace. So Ron's on today, and he says, "Hey, Terry, great info for the call center opportunity. I would like to get a copy of this podcast." Well, Ron, all you have to do is go to TerryWilson3.com/YouTube, and it's already entitled, "Is 5K a Day in a Call Center from Home Possible?" And it will be there. Everything I do is always recorded, and it's going to be either in my YouTube channel at TerryWilson3.com/YouTube, or if it's a podcast, my podcast is ones that we actually record the video through YouTube, but we also record the audio, and we put it, it's a podcast is an audio version that's distributed out through iTunes, Stitcher, and all of that. But yeah, everything I've got is there for you to use. So if you've got any direct questions, Ron, that your people are asking, I'd be more than happy to answer it. And if there's any other members on here that's got a specific question be more than happy to answer that for you. Absolutely, brother. And what we're trying to do on these sort of impromptu live chats is I've got a little chat box there to where it pops up on the screen. So in real time, even though people that are going to watch this later, they won't be here to see the live chat live, they can see what I'm seeing on the screen and then seeing how I'm responding to it. So, there's a risk I run there because someone might say something crazy, but we'll just have to do what we do. Do we need to call the RPM partners to be enrolled for credit like that? Yes. And that's I think that is your which RMP partner is that, Scott? That, and thank you for saying it that way, brother. I appreciate your discretion. I think that is it's not MB. It might be the MB one. If it's not, it might be CB. It's either MB or CB, but check that out in your training of which one that is. But I'm almost sure that's MB, but it might be the CB RMP partner. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Ron. We appreciate it. And thank you for always being positive on the show and sending in good vibes. We appreciate that. It sort of helps ward off the negative vibes. One of the things I tell people that are elite members that are going to start podcasting is do not get discouraged. Do not get sort of downtrodden when you start getting people in that are a little snippy. I don't know what it is about society, but when you start talking about being positive, when you start talking about being grateful, when you start talking about being thankful, when you start talking in public to the masses about anything about growing outside themselves, if you challenge them in any way, there's a lot of people that respond to that very positively, that say, yeah, and they grab a hold of it, they catch the vision. And then there's a ton of people that just saying, well, you don't know. And then they just start criticizing and they start calling you everything but your God-given name. So I just encourage you guys, as you're starting to create your brand and your business online, and you're starting to get your message out there and letting the world know, just be ready for that, and don't get discouraged, because I tell you, the Rons and the Scotts and the Josies and the Garys and the people out there that have caught the vision and grabbed a hold of what it is that you're going to be able to do, they make it all the worth it. They make it worth it. And you just have to, and it's just like in any other, I've been, I guess, in the church world long enough. I know that you've got that as well, but some people that don't have that background dealing with people, dealing with the things that will cause people to react negatively, sometimes they get shocked the first time they put a message out there of, being an entrepreneur or something positive. Then all of a sudden they're getting all this, gag stuff. And it can throw you off guard. So I always just say, be ready for it and be cool with it, because it's just, some people are so negative that they would have to get slapped upside the head by life to get them outside of themselves sometimes. And it's sad, but there's nothing you can do. Any other questions? Good stuff today, guys. If you have members that you think would be helpful for me to speak with them or answer their questions, make sure you get them over to text 810 text at TW3 podcast to 81010. Text the at TW3 podcast to 81010. And the reason I say that is because when I don't have these type of things I'm doing now scheduled, it's just when we can do it, when time allows. Tuesday's my coaching day. I had a ton of people that I coached earlier, and then I had about a 45-minute slot. And so I wanted to go ahead and put this out there. So if you got clients, make sure if they want to ask and they say, well, I'd like to talk to Terry directly. Well, here's how they can do it. Text at TW3 podcast to that number 81010, and then they will be invited to come onto these live events and ask anything, anytime they want. I'd be more than happy to answer that. So good stuff. Well, guys, if there's nothing else, I don't want to sit here and just flap my gums if there's no other questions. But the main question today, is it possible to make that kind of money from home? Absolutely. I'm going to give my income report at the end of November, and I promise you it's going to be even better than the income report in October. And Gary and some of these other guys, I'm going to try to talk to them, see if they would be willing to give up some of their income. The only problem is, and the reason it makes some people a target, and they don't want people chasing them and then getting mad with them if they don't get, so I sort of take the bullets for the company sometimes, and so it's hard to get some other people to sort of put themselves out there and say, hey, well, this is what I'm doing, because then it sort of makes them a target of other people to chase down. But if I can discreetly or come up with a way that they can just encourage the people, hey, it's a real deal. You can make as much money as you want to do and make, just by simply being disciplined, work the system, get out there, keep in front of people, get your autoresponder hooked up to where it's dripping on them, invite them, keep them encouraged, keep them motivated, keep this thing out in front of them. You're going to see good things happen. I mean, I think yesterday, company-wide, we had over 40 enrollments. Gary was responsible, I think, for 4 of them. So he was 10%. And then several people, Mark, I think, did a couple, 2 or 3, and Lindsay did two, and then everybody else did 1 or 2 as well. So I mean, the deal is real. You can make money with this, and the beautiful thing is, you don't have to feel like you're under pressure to sell anything to anybody. You can make money in a way that's helping people. So that's just clean business. I like doing business that way. So that's good stuff. Well, guys, we're going to do a membership training tomorrow night. So for you members, make sure you're on tomorrow night. I'm going to be talking to elite members about how to create your own product. I'm going to show elite members how they can create their own unique product for them and them only that no one else would sell. How to create that, how to put it in their store, how to sell it, how to market it. I'm going to be talking to elite members about how to create your own product. And then I'm going to be answering general questions to the folks that are Rep and Plus members. If you've got members that you've just onboarded, make sure you have them come out on Wednesday nights, because sometimes they're asking you questions that over the phone you're not able to answer as easily. And with ticket support, Reagan and Mark and excuse me, not Mark, but Michael Corbett and Jamie, they might have more difficulty answering those questions through ticket support, but I can illustrate it right there on the screen for them. And Scott says, can we go over equipment pricing for podcasts? Yes, right now we can if you want, or do you want to wait till you're talking about for the mastermind group tomorrow night? Probably do need to wait for that, because and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have a PDF file hopefully made up by tomorrow night, Scott, that I have some of that as well, and I'll show you. Matter of fact, that you can get a mic for really around $45, and then use that free software that I was talking about with the iPad. So for $45, yeah, but I'll have a breakdown on that as well for you Wednesday night in a private elite training. All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it's of value. I want to be cognitive of not just pestering you through text all the time, but I'll try to do 1 or 2 of these a week when I can. This week we'll probably only have this one. We'll have the membership training, and I'm taking the rest of the week off. But make sure, if you've got members, this is just one more way I can help your members and help you support your members. Have them on that list. Have them come to these things. I would be more than happy to answer any question that they have. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you for listening to our show today at TerryWilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at TerryWilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really? I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started here.
Is this the celebrity, Terry Wilson?
Oh, my word.
How you doing, sir?
Dude, don't even go there. I've been listening to this for a while, and I'm finally like, okay, guys, what a privilege. I mean,